Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly video game podcast from Co-op 64. This week, we are doing the video game developer tier list. I have over 100 video game developers written down here, some games that they've created to use as reference so we know what the studio's history is, and we're going to be putting them up on the tier list. It's going to be a long one, probably. How you feeling, Nick?
Connor, you hit up my messages last night after making this list, and you're like, it's 100 developers long. And the first thing I thought was doing math, where I was like, if we go for like a minute on each one, just 60 seconds. Literally only 60 seconds. This is an hour and 40-minute podcast. If we just do that, just 60 seconds, do you think we're going to talk about Remedy for just 60 seconds?
I
Then we
almost
talk
feel
about Kojima Productions for just 60 seconds?
The big dogs, though, I feel like are easy. Those are the ones that go fast.
I don't know.
It's the ones that have like kind of a spotty career that end up like kind of having like more of a discussion, like Konami, where it's like they've kind of fallen from grace, but they made some great games back in the day, and it's like, you know,
Why are you Chris Collinsworth? I don't know.
Patrick Moons. But yeah, it'll be fun. We're going to go through each of these. We got a lot to get to today, so we're just going to jump right into it. Hot takes and draft at the end. We're doing a Keyblades draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. This was Nick's idea, and people keep asking for it in the comments, so we have to get to it at some point. So Kingdom Hearts Keyblades draft at the end, Never review, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero impressions. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Let's hop right into it with our first developer, and it's an interesting one.
We're going in alphabetical order,
Yes.
correct? With the list we have.
Vaguely. I added some at the end that like I forgot about, or like they're smaller indie developers that didn't end up like, I guess they're just not on Wikipedia or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
I used a Wikipedia list, and so I threw a few on there at the
Cool,
end
yeah.
that are not in alphabetical order, of course. So to kick it off, we have 343 Industries, Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. Yeesh.
I don't know, Jim.
Okay, I mean, I like Halo 4 quite a bit.
Yeah.
Halo 5 is like a 5 out of 10. It's like a whatever game.
Yep.
Maybe a 6 out of 10. It has good multiplayer. I think the campaign is whatever, is fine. It's not bad by any means, but it's just like kind of not very memorable. Halo Infinite, I like quite a bit. Great multiplayer. I love the campaign for that game. It's not as impactful as 1, 2, or 3, but it's up there with 4 in my opinion. It's pretty close. What are we thinking?
I'm between these two.
I think
off the rip.
I feel like we got to be
For
cutthroat
B and
here.
C, for
We have
B and C.
so many studios to
Yeah.
get through. I feel like we have to throw it in
C for now.
just to
Yep.
get
yeah. 343 going in C. Okay, one down. We're halfway there.
I'm gonna have to write relatively small. So.
Yeah, 343. Like we're gonna be dropping some names and such. It's gonna be shorthand for a lot of the visual that gets thrown up here.
4A Games, the creators of the Metro series, which there's Exodus, there's 2033. This is going to go to the audience.
Yes.
Where do we want it?
So, audience, let's get a poll up for our moderators. Polls are going to be 1 minute today that we can't do any longer.
So if you can only get 4 up, it's not S tier, clearly.
Yeah.
Do A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
For us.
And then in the meantime, as we just talked through this, I have Metro on my Fantasy Critic team. That was my last pickup. I picked up Metro VR. And here's the thing, Connor. We could be seeing potentially the greatest comeback in Fantasy Critic history. Over halfway through the year, I have 1 point. I have 5 games already locked and loaded. Concord lost me points. The War Within was my counter pick, and I got bodied by it. I had 1 point for so long in this year. And then what happened? I dropped $85 on Metro. I had fucking Metaphor, not Metro, on Astrobot. I had the game of the year, Metaphor ReFantasio. I've only played an hour. That's hyperbole. But the game of the year, Metaphor. And then now it's Metro, it's Life is Strange, and it's Alan Wake, the Lake House. Let's see if those 3 can come out. If I can average 15 points on each of those, I win. I would be projected to win.
Okay. I picked up Planet Coaster 2 this week as my final pick because I had to drop Nina the Hollower, and we're going to see
That sounds
where
like a 76 if I've ever heard of one.
The Planet Coaster 1 has like an 87 or something.
No, those games do well. Yeah.
I feel like it's a safe bet. All right,
100%,
4A. We're looking at 4A, the creator of the Metro series. We're about to get the results on where we're throwing 4A.
Straw Hat and I were talking at like 4 a.m. last night about
C tier. Wow.
about my comeback in Fantasy Critic and everything, and I'm
You
pretty
and who?
stoked. Me and Straw Hat. We were talking about Fantasy Critic and how stoked I am.
Arc System Works, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Fighters, depending on who you ask. They're probably, maybe currently today, working today, the most consistent fighting
rock
game
solid.
developer going right now. It's A or B for sure.
I was thinking B.
Okay.
Do you want to just toss it to them because the people know more?
Yeah,
on
the
this
people
one?
know more.
Because
A
all
or
I'm
B
rocking is
for Arc
Guilty
System
Gear.
Works. Give us 30 seconds for Arc System Works.
30-second
please.
poll.
Yeah, already a
Whoa.
second. Okay. Yeah, well, we need to move quick. We need to move quick.
Connor, we are halfway through the list already. We're fine.
Arcane Leon,
Oh, this is Dishonored, right?
Dishonored,
Yep.
and Deathloop,
Yep.
not Redfall and Prey, which will be the next one.
I think that this is the definition of a B tier studio.
Yeah, they make great video games, but they don't have a ton of history
and
here.
there's not like
Or, like,
Dishonored,
top tier.
there's
Yeah.
they haven't had a single one.
Yeah.
Even Deathloop, well received at the time, got a masterpiece score from GameSpot, I believe. But then like it's just it has not held that high standard. 2021 was just one of those years.
Arcane Austin's gonna go in D tier. Is that fine?
Are we talking? Oh, are they next up? Obviously, because that's how it goes. Arcane Austin.
Prey, great game.
I was about to say,
apparently.
I fuck
But
with
then
Prey.
you have a bad game in Redfall.
Like,
And that, I feel
a
like, and you
dumpster
only
fire.
have two. You have two games.
Maybe, honestly, maybe one of the most brutal releases in all of console generation history was Redfall, because that just like dropped all the momentum they had from Hi-Fi Rush or D tier.
from Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, the Hi-Fi Rush momentum that we had in
For
2022 for Xbox.
in general, not for Arcane. I was like, Arcane.
yeah,
did not
Arcane,
develop it.
dude. Oh, dude, can't wait to talk about Tango. Holy shit.
Arcane
Shout out Tango.
Austin. Okay. Next we have Arrowhead, Helldivers 1 and 2. This feels like a C tier. Is that fair? Arrowhead? They're primed to be picked up. Did we get a result for?
We did not yet.
Oh, the stream is dipping.
Yeah,
out.
that's why. But we're fine. We're going to keep it going. The stream, for the people that are listening to our audio, we're live streaming this so the poll can help and everything. The chat can help with polls. But we're also recording it natively. That is what you guys are going to get to hear. So you guys get to hear all of this discussion. Who are we on right now?
We are moving on to Arrowhead, and I
Arrowhead.
think that's
You're
a
going C tier? Yeah. Helldivers is great, though. I'm excited to see what they do.
Arrowhead. Okay, moving on to Atlas. Okay, it's A or S.
Yeah. I don't think it's
S tier.
A. I don't think it's A or S. I think it's S.
No.
Where's the miss?
It's not about the okay. There's a decent amount of just all right games.
I know, but like
people, Catherine, I love, but like a lot of people don't like. They have Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I believe. Is
I know,
them.
but you have like 3 of, and now apparently 4 of the greatest JRPGs ever.
Okay, but there's more consistent studios, is what I'm saying. It's. I think it's high A, low S.
I don't know, but like Connor, I don't know. We might need to throw this one to a poll. Actually, okay, I'll rock A. For simplicity's sake, we'll save S tier for the big boys. But Atlas is fucking awesome. Like I can't believe that the way that they're working through games right now is extremely impressive.
Then we have Bandai Namco Studios, which is interesting. This is one of those situations, guys, where I know that Bandai Namco is a publisher. There's a lot of publishers out there that don't really disclose how they're broken up. They have multiple teams under their umbrella, and it's not exactly clear like who is making what. So for Bandai Namco, I just have Tekken, Soul Calibur, Ace Combat, Pac-Man. There's others in there, of course, and they help publish a lot of these games. But like, I'm not giving them necessarily credit for like modern day Smash Bros.
Exactly.
Even though they do have a high like involvement with the development of that. So it's confusing. It's tough.
I think it's pretty easy.
A tier for Arc.
Whoa. People really fuck with Arc.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're
Yeah.
up there for sure.
Anyways, I feel like Bandai's easy B tier. Great games, not always consistent.
Yeah.
But like that is maybe like for me, Bandai sits next to Arcane Leon. It's like, hey, they're grabbing a beer, they're having fun.
Right.
Cold cup of coffee. All right, moving on to Bethesda Game Studios, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. Starfield.
Starfield is the big kicker, and I think this is a B tier developer at this point. They have so much history.
I understand. Though. I'm okay with putting it in B. We can put it in B. We're going to put it in B.
Okay.
Personally, I don't like these games.
Yeah.
Like, I like
Fallout 4 is a disappointment. Starfield is a disappointment. Like for a lot of people,
Skyrim came out as a broken fucking game and only really works with mods. It's not exactly what we want that game to be. But I'm okay. We can put it in B tier.
But they also have the older stuff like
Morrowind
and Oblivion. That people love Fallout 3.
Oblivion. We have the Keyblade draft later, Connor.
Yeah,
okay, come on.
Funny. Very very.
All right, let's toss it
funny.
in B. That's easy
Okay.
B. For where we're at with it, and then we got a big one, Connor. One of the best developers, and now one of the most questionable developers ever, BioWare. How you feeling?
A tier.
Still?
Yeah. I think that I think their highs are higher than Bethesda, and they've made some of the greatest games of all time. Mass Effect 2 and 3, and for a lot of people 1. Then
Inquisition.
you have KOTOR, then you have Dragon Age, then you have like the older Xbox games as well. Like they've just crushed this entire time. So
Yeah. I mean, I think this is simple at this point. We just toss them up in a
yeah, BioWare.
BioWare. Connor,
Alrighty.
now we got something that Jason Schreier just wrote a book about, Blizzard. How you feeling?
Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch. I think they're probably S tier, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're like one of the most story developers of all time. They've never really made a bad game ever, and they've made some of the greatest games of all time. Like StarCraft, still played heavily to this day. Hearthstone, considered one of the greatest card games of all time. Overwatch, the defined hero shooters for a lot of people. World of Warcraft, like MMO, they're S tier.
I think they're A tier.
No.
Like, I understand that they got some of the goats and everything, but I feel like personally there's just not a lot that I love here. Like, this is our board, you know? We're the ones doing the podcast, and sure, if this was going to the chat, I could see it being S tier, but I think that they're A tier.
Well, we can't vote because they're really far behind.
That is true. They are very far behind.
They're still talking about Arc System Works.
That's a good point. Do we just want fine? I'll be malleable early on. I just want you to remember my goodness and graciousness to you, Connor.
All right.
As we put Blizzard in S tier. Yeah, they're one of the goats.
Yes. Okay, we are back. We had some technical difficulties. We're jumping back in. We put Blizzard in A because
Blizzard in S.
Blizzard in S because they have a long history, guys. World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch, Diablo. Like, guys, they have more, like, a deeper catalog than Atlas, in my opinion. Atlas, great. On the up, like, they were quiet for a long time and then, like, have burst onto the scene as, like, one of the goats.
They never saw it coming.
Like, they've always been great, but they haven't been like this massive, and you don't necessarily need to be this massive developer, I guess, to be up in the S tier, but I'm just saying that, like, they were quietly just making great games for a long time, and then now they're one of the big dogs, for sure.
And now, here we are, Connor's new darling, Carlin's new hotness.
What are we talking about?
Bloober Team.
Bloober Team. That is a D tier studio.
Even with SSH2 remake?
Yeah, they Layers of Fear. They've made bad games. Like,
Connor knows it's true that Silent Hill 2 is an 8.5 out of 10. That's what he's saying, everyone.
They've been around for a long time, and they've made bad games. They finally made a great one with they needed somebody else to make it basically first, and then them just be able to, like, work off.
You're right.
It.
They made a great one. 8.5 out of 10.
9.5. All right. Bloober going to D tier.
Blue Point. Let's go.
What is he saying? Blue Point. Maybe the greatest remake development studio of all time. But there's still a remake.
I was about to say it's like a good role player on an NBA team where you're like, oh, they do what they do very well, but they're not the star of the show. By
Uncharted Collection, Shadow of the Colossus is fucking excellent.
That's
Demon Souls. I think
the chat's right.
I think
the chat's
B.
right. It's
I
C.
personally think B.
For what reason? It's not. They're as good as like 343
Shadow of the
has some,
Colossus is just fucking.
yeah, but it's a remake.
I know,
it's
but still, it's a really good remake.
like the worst
like a
time
really, really good remake.
remakes don't make you a studio that like is worthwhile. Like if we're putting Bloober in D tier, the same logic applies.
No, Bloober makes bad games, and then they made one great one. Blue Point is the best at what they do. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually like that. Put it in B.
no. Let's
No,
send it to the people.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
Fine.
You got me. You're right. They literally do that thing the best. Coming in with Bungie.
Ew, okay.
Yeesh. Realistically speaking,
It's A or B.
yeah, I was about to say it's higher than people would expect.
Yeah, because they really, I mean, like, they made all the great Halo games.
Yep.
They made Destiny, which has had its ebbs and flows, but like, is this fucking massive thing?
I feel like this is an easy A tier.
Okay.
I think it's almost easy to be
okay.
like, yeah, sure, they've had like their tough times, but
even when they're having tough times, they're still
Yeah.
like at the top of their game with Destiny 2. Like,
exactly.
They have like one bad season and then they do the final shape. And it's like, okay.
yeah. Literally, it's like, oh, this expansion is like a 78 on Metacritic, and then every other one is like an 89. It's just redonkulous.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm not a huge Destiny guy, but the people who love Destiny fucking love Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny's
and I like the campaigns, like the base games for both of them. I think that Destiny 1 is a little bit weak, but Destiny 2 is fun.
So now we're back into publisher conversation with Capcom.
Capcom. That's S tier.
Easiest S tier ever.
Do we even need to discuss that?
Easiest S tier ever. The return to glory is that's Capcom.
It needs to be studied.
It's also the call that was made about Tiger Woods when he won the Masters again. I was like, where did I pull that one out from? But yeah, no, the return to glory. Capcom has been just on a ungodly run, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
If we break this out for TikTok, I do need to say that when we are figuring out developers, Capcom, Square Enix, Konami, they are publishers, but they have developers under them and they don't necessarily have that information public. So we just have to take Capcom as Capcom. So Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Monster Hunter. What else do we got for Capcom? Street Fighter. Like, come on.
Street Fighter.
CD Projekt Red. Here's my take on CD Projekt Red. They have two of the greatest games of all time.
Yep.
And then they have two all right games with The Witcher 1 and 2. I don't think we can put them in A. They're not up there with BioWare or Atlas. I think B.
I think they're up there with Bungie.
No.
They're better than all these.
And then you also kind of have to factor in the fact that they released a terrible product for a lot of people when it comes to early Cyberpunk.
But if you were to go and ask people, name 50 of the greatest games of all time, like, and currently 50, do a top 50 list right now, and people played both The Witcher 3 and CD Projekt Red or
and
Cyberpunk.
Same thing, yeah.
They're both on that list.
But
no other, I don't know if any other developer has that right now. Like, except for like The Last of Us and From Software and stuff like that. But
I think a lot of studios have that.
But Alice is in the same boat. It has a couple. BioWare is in the same boat. It has a couple. That you're just like, oh, BioWare for well, no, they have like 4. But I'm saying that they're basically 50-50. And the two that they have
is 50-50.
No. I'm saying that CD Projekt Red is 50-50.
And the two that are lesser are just fine.
They're just fine.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like. We're talking about two of the GOATs, though. Like, we were talking about The Witcher 3. We're talking about fucking Cyberpunk. I'm an A tier person. Where did I sway you?
No, I would
okay,
like
let's get a poll up.
A or B, 30-second poll. We're going to move on to the next
30-second poll.
As we go through here. Compulsion, We Happy Few, Contrast. They are the ones who are making South of Midnight.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait for that title.
They're a C tier studio. No.
I
would say they're D tier. We Happy Few was really disappointing.
Yeah,
it was not as good as people wanted it to be, and I think that the other one, Contrast, is a cool artsy game, but like they're not. I think South of Midnight will be their next big step. So.
TM Wastelander, we haven't gotten to Naughty Dog yet. We
alphabetical order.
We are going in alphabetical order. And then we have some fun ones at the end.
D tier. Criterion, Burnout, the Burnout series. These are really good fucking racing games. Maybe some of the best racing games of all time. Did I skip somebody?
Yeah,
I skipped Creative Assembly. We'll go back to it.
Okay, Criterion, Burnout. We're hitting the track. We're having some fun.
Okay, they've been like relegated to Need for Speed at this point,
Yeah.
which is disappointing. But Burnout's really good, like really good. I would say B tier personally.
I would say C tier.
Okay.
And like if we're doing Arrowhead and C tier, I'm like in 343. That's where like that's the level that they're on in my opinion.
343 has some bad games. Burnout, like
It did
there's
shred.
no bad games.
I know, but
CD Projekt is going in B
B
tier.
tier.
Nice.
butthole.
Oh, that's not right. CD.
Criterion B tier. I'm gonna go with Cooper, man. You're right. We're going B tier. Put it up there. When Goop Daddy,
Okay.
when our moderator, our retro guy is coming in and saying that I don't even know. You're right. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm sorry I didn't put more respect on Criterion's game.
Criterion's awesome.
So we
don't make bad games. Even the ones that they made for Need for Speed are good games. Like
Yes.
it's just like they just don't make bad games. Period.
We did skip
Creative Assembly, Total War, Alien Isolation. This is a you guys type of situation. I know Alien Isolation is well beloved. They're making another one. Very exciting. Total War, totally over my head.
Yeah, do CBAS for this, or
No.
do S.
A to D.
Yeah, A to D. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Crystal Dynamics. A fun one as they're
So
doing that.
interesting. Legacy of Kain, Tomb Raider, Marvel's Avengers. The modern Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Modern Tomb Raider, which are some great games.
Yeah, but Marvel's Avengers bad. Yeah.
C tier.
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics.
I love, dude. You are turning into
Chris Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth. Yeah. Pat Mahomes.
That's a guy.
Now here's a guy. The best moment of this NFL season was Mahomes on a Sunday night game throwing a pick, and then he's like, "Great play by Mahomes." And you're just like, "What? What do you mean?"
Next, we have Crytek, who made the early Far Cry games. I think Far Cry 1. I don't know if they made 2. We have Rise, Son of Rome. Did I skip another one? No.
No. You're good.
And we have Crysis. I think this is an F tier studio. They make really pretty games.
I was about to say.
They don't make good games, though.
Do we have the Hellblade
Sorry.
studio on here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
No, Ninja
Theory.
Sorry, yeah. We always do that.
Yep.
Crytek F tier, is that fine?
Sure. Yeah, rock and roll. Digital Extremes.
Digital Extremes. We got Warframe. Okay, this is one of those interesting situations where I feel like you have to put respect on them.
Yep.
They've made one thing
Really
really
well.
well and have garnered a really solid audience. I think B tier's
Sure.
fine. Yeah. Digital Extremes.
We're just having a conversation. We're just out here ranking some studios with apparently phenomenal internet.
right.
Oh, the fact that the internet hasn't dipped is wild.
Shut your mouth, Nick. You're gonna jinx it. You're gonna jinx it.
I will say,
C tier for creative.
I want to throw this out there. What are the odds it is my Ethernet cord?
I don't think it may be.
Because that just plugged it back in. On that, it kind of worked.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then Connor's favorite stew.
Don't nod. Early Life is Strange. Tell me why. I think Deck 9 makes True Colors.
Yes,
and
and
Before the Storm,
yep.
and I think they're making the new one.
Yes.
So this is Early Life is Strange. I don't want to argue here. I don't think the writing in those games are good, but as a concept, as like a game layout, I think they're fine developers. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
C tier.
I can live with that.
C tier.
C tier for Don't Nod.
Now we got a fun one, Double Fine, which when all the layoffs and everything started happening over at Xbox, I was like, oh, I'm no joke nervous about Double Fine and what they do and everything because they are a smaller studio, but they do make great games.
A tier, I think.
Yeah, they don't miss.
Yeah, they really don't. Like, so like their early stuff in partnership with LucasArts is like really good. Like
Yeah.
Day of the Tentacle and Grim Fandango, I think was under them. And then you have their modern stuff like Psychonauts, Broken Age. Like, come on.
They just make great games.
Yeah.
I could make a case for B tier. I just want to put that on the record that like I could.
And they're super creative too. Like,
Yeah,
it's nice to have like, and we have some big dogs up here like Bungie and BioWare, and having Double Fine up there feels right.
Yeah, it does. All right, moving on to EA Dice. We're talking Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront, Mirror's Edge.
Okay, they have a very spotty history, but they just make really high quality experiences.
There's quality, but like, can we also just like?
Battlefield has been on a decline.
Yeah,
but Battlefield 3, 4, and 1 are great.
I just want to throw out though that I'm like, yeah, so we're taking the whole history to account,
Yeah.
but recently we're talking some D and C tier performances for a very long time.
I think DICE is C tier.
Yeah, I'm fine with C tier. I just was like, we're not putting them in B tier based off of Battlefield 1, 2, and 3. Well, I'm not doing that.
And then you also have Star Wars Battlefront, which I know that Battlefront 1 was solid but undercooked. Battlefront 2 had issues that they rectified, and now it's a great game. So like, I don't think they don't really just make bad games. They just kind of keep pumping out decent quality or really great.
KJ, we came off of this hour-long break and we're pent up. We're ready to fucking rock this podcast, okay? That's why we got so based. Next up is Eidos Montreal.
IDOS.
Eidos. Eidos.
I do not like modern Deus Ex like at all.
This is one of those.
Yeah, I'll
it's
put
up
them
to
in
you.
C tier. They're right there with Crystal Dynamics.
Next up, we have Epic Games, Unreal Engine, Gears of War, and Fortnite.
Well, they make Unreal,
Yeah,
Engine,
they
but
make-
they
yeah.
also make the Unreal like tournament series.
Oh, yeah.
Long history. They make the early Gears of War games 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
What are you thinking? Fortnite, B or A?
It's,
I think A is too high.
It's an A with a bullet.
Yeah.
These are some. These are some of the best games ever.
I know.
No, this isn't a conversation.
I hate the idea of putting Epic Games next to fucking Atlas.
Yeah,
and
my
Arc
bad.
Systems.
You just write Epic over here, so it's not actually next to it. But like, no, it is. That is the definition of an A tier. Like, I don't know how to not call Epic Games and what they've done, their entire history. The fact that Fortnite is the biggest game on the planet. The fact that Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 are some of the most beloved games ever.
Yeah.
Gears 3, great fucking game.
Here, can you write?
Yeah, I can do
you're over
Epic.
there? My hands are sweaty. There we go.
Golly, son. This
Teamwork
is great
makes the dream
podcast
work.
content. This is great podcast content.
Oh, your handwriting is. Oh, it sure is something.
That is a fine
why
Epic.
are the lines on the E so weird, so spindly? They're just like.
'Cause I got the short edge of the marker there. This is great podcasting.
Alrighty. Next up, we have
Evolution
Drive Club Motorstorm. This is a C tier. I really love Motorstorm. I think those racing games are so fun, but I feel like they're kind of these are mid studios. These are all right, I guess. Compulsion's not bad. Yeah, I think C tier.
Sure.
Probably. But Evolution doesn't exist anymore. Drive Club was such a disaster for them that they got shut down.
Maybe that might make it D.
Yeah.
Evolution going in D tier.
Evolution D tier. For Axis, the Civ people, they just made XCOM and Midnight Suns. This feels kind of like an A tier to me. Like they're kind of the kings of this kind of game. These RTS type games. What are you thinking? Do you have any take here?
I do have a take, but it's one of those that like I'm so not passionate about it. I don't want to fight for it. But originally when I looked down and I was like, okay, these games are great. Like I know they're great. I was between C and B.
No, it's definitely not C. They're not on the same level.
Then can we just toss them in B and be happy with it? I don't know. I don't know.
Stop making fun of me. I think B is yeah.
Yeah, we can
B
do
is
it.
Fine. Yeah.
We compromise on this one.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a little indie developer. I don't know if you heard of them. They're called From Software. I don't know what they make.
This is fucking easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Software is an S-tiered studio. It is so insane at this point that you and me can be watching the Game Awards and just see the From Software logo pop up, and even saying those words, getting full body chills. It like there's so few studios where they get that response, and From Software is the number one on that. You're just going up. You're just going up. Just going up. I'll the next one I'll write and I'll put it right there.
Just start going down. Like,
Yeah.
just
Build a little roof.
yeah. So From Software, Armored Core, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's the God.
This
run.
is a really, really interesting one. Game Freak, Pokemon. Yeesh.
Really solid games. Let me Connor.
But they're so bad now.
They're not.
Oh, Nick, Scarlet and Violet are broken ass games.
But they're a lot of fun.
And they haven't changed anything over
Arceus.
like a decade. Arceus is barely different. I'm sorry. Like,
It is different.
It's just different with like catching. And then the
Yeah.
battles are the battles still. It's like, I don't know. Games Freak historically A, currently C. I think that's a great.
I exactly. So they're B tier.
No. I think currently.
No, we're not doing currently.
Sorry, I don't think that their early games like
It's
supersede.
baby's first turn based. Like, come on.
Okay, fine. Game Freak will
B.
go. All right.
God. Got me fired up. Got me feeling nicey. Grezzo, Legend of Zelda remakes, and Echoes of Wisdom. So this is a studio within Nintendo that we have some knowledge about. How are you feeling about them? I don't know if I said that properly, but that sounds right.
Grezzo?
Grezzo,
Yeah, that's how you said.
Cool.
I really don't like how I'm writing Freak. Game Freak needs to be fixed. They really do need to be fixed.
Oh my gosh. Grezzo, how are you feeling? For me, when I look at this and just what they've done, this is perfectly B tier to me.
Yeah, they're really solid. So for those who don't know, Grezzo has done they did the 3DS, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. They did the ports for, I think for Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. They did the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake for the Switch, and they just did Echoes of Wisdom, which is their first original game.
And it's fucking awesome.
And it's great. So they really... I feel like they have more to prove, though, is the thing. And I think it's good. I think it's a good game. And then you have remakes outside of that.
Yeah,
and if we're going to put Blue Point to the goat of the remakes,
yeah, but they also have original content that's great.
They have one original thing.
I understand, but if we're putting Arrowhead there, that's a similar deal. Plus, they have the remakes that are great.
But their remakes for the remakes for Grezzo, they have one full on remake, and then the ones for like the 3DS ones, they're just like really high quality upreses.
They're B tier.
No, C tier. We can put it to a poll.
Put it to a poll, but this is awful.
Grezzo, B or C. It's awful. C is fine.
If we're saying
Crystal Dynamics has some great
Wisdom
games.
is a B tier game, and then they make great ports.
Echoes of Wisdom is a 7.5.
Yeah, it's an 8.5. This is why we disagree. This is so frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. We disagree.
Oh
simply.
my gosh. Simple and clean.
Guerrilla Games, Killzone, Horizon. Really high quality studio. I don't like their games. That was the problem.
I'm between here.
They're definitely not A. They are not even close to A.
Really?
It's B or C in my opinion. They're like one of the weakest PlayStation studios in my opinion.
Just because you don't like Horizon.
And I don't really like Killzone either.
Oh man, it's B tier. It is B. I can make a strong case for A.
B is fine.
And so if you're between there, and let's just result in B.
Firaxis is way better than them. Bandai, Bethesda is way better.
Who's better, Game Freak or Guerrilla? Who's better?
Point. Guerrilla.
Exactly. Got me feeling nicey. I gotta stop, dude. I'm getting notifications from my fantasy league, and people keep on sending John Gruden in there. HAL or HAL Laboratory.
HAL Laboratories.
Kirby Earthbound.
Pokemon Snap. I mean, like they really took the next step for a lot of people with like making like AAA games when it comes to Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. They also helped make the early Smash Bros games, Smash 64, and I think they did Melee too, which are, I mean, Melee is considered one of. I think B tier feels right.
Yeah, that's right where I was at.
Okay. Alrighty, HAL Laboratory. Going into the B tier, do we get Grezzo as B tier?
Yes, because there is truth and there is kindness and there is happiness amongst all this discussion.
Harmonix, Rock Band, early Guitar Hero, I think.
Yes, I believe so. Someone
Neversoft picked it up at Guitar Hero 3. And then Guitar Hero 1 and 2 was Harmonix, and they switched to Rock Band after that. I don't know, like B tier,
A tier. These games are all fucking awesome.
Yeah,
especially if it is Guitar Hero 1 and 2, where the set lists are like actually pretty solid in those games.
Okay.
And then Rock Band is like, if this was studio just came out, developed Rock Band, and then never developed another game, they'd be S tier.
I think.
Yeah, dude, we can pull if you want.
A and B for Harmonix. Next up, we have Hazelight Brothers, A Way Out, It Takes Two. Probably the best like co-op developer currently going today. One of the only co-op developers.
I was about to say, this is like such a unique and fun studio. I love Hazelight. Are you tossing them in A?
Yeah, is that fire?
Yeah, yes, that's actually exactly what I was going to make the case for. Haze Light's just fucking awesome. Like they just make really great games.
Great games.
Shout out to A Way Out being better than It Takes Two, because it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. Next up we have Hello Games, No Man's Sky. Where does this go?
Probably B tier.
It is a great story.
Yeah,
but
that is the studio putting in the work.
Yeah.
So
Hello Games in the B tier. Hello Games, hello to B tier. All right, what do we got next, Nick?
Next up we got Housemarque, which
Housemarque.
is Resogun, Super Stardust, Returnal. What a fucking awesome
Dead
studio.
Nation. Oh my goodness. They
Do you have
Next Machina.
do you have the guts to do it?
S?
No.
Maybe.
I don't know, Jim.
I kind of want to put him in S.
I was between A and B.
Dude, they make some of the best arcade style games ever on console, which you don't get a lot of nowadays anyways. Oh, Returnal as well. Is Returnal written down there?
Returnal's down
Oh
there.
my goodness, so good.
We're saying that
I think they're up. I think they're
Housemarque is an S tier.
Yes. Are
They're
they
on
making-
the same. They're better than Atlas. Housemarque is better than Atlas.
It's close in my opinion.
No, they're not. They're not better than Atlas.
Okay, fine.
They're
A tier
not.
then?
A tier's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
was between A and B, but like if Alice is going to be the gatekeeper of going into S tier, which it really is, like
Q, yeah.
we can't do that, you know.
Atlas is the doorman. It's like, you can come in. Hey, From Software struts in. Capcom rides in on some monsters with some pallet coats behind it. All right. Next up, did we get a vote for a B for harmonics?
What song am I singing? You got me?
Take me out.
Yes.
I say,
Don't you know? I did learn how to play that on guitar last night.
We have id Software early Doom titles, old Wolfenstein, new Doom titles. Yeah, Quake. One of the goats. I mean, like they're one of the goats.
I want to say, for certain, they're better than Bethesda.
Yes,
Straight up.
yes.
Like it carries the Bethesda name in my opinion.
Right now, they do for sure.
Yeah.
It's, I agree
also
with Goop.
think-
It's A or S.
Yeah, I'm an A. I'm an A boy on this one. They are not better than Atlas, Connor.
They're close.
They're not better.
Nick, early Doom is crazy.
I understand.
Like, it is still really good. And then modern Doom is amazing, too.
Yeah, but Persona 5 and Metaphor and Persona 3 exist. We're not doing this. They're an A-tier studio. They're on that level. I'm not... this is not a... It is a bad conversation. I really fucking love its software. But if we're making S-tier literally S-tier, then it's an A-tier.
Infinity Ward, Modern Warfare series. Infinite Warfare, COD Ghosts. I feel like they're in an interesting spot because they have some of the best Call of Duty. Period.
It's up and down the board. I'm okay with B or C because they have some bad games. Like there's a lot of bad.
I don't like Ghosts.
CODs.
I don't like Infinite Warfare, and I don't like I don't like Modern Warfare 2 or 3.
So was Infinite Warfare Raven Studios? Help me out. There's that third studio that Sledgehammer. Okay.
Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my rotation correct.
So I feel like C tier because where are we gonna put like Treyarch?
B tier.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Cool. We're just deciding we're locked and loaded on this one.
Infinity Ward going in C tier.
The reason that Blizzard is S tier was the overall success of their games, and we're just rating their games. We understand that Bobby Kotick is a son of a bitch and all this stuff. When you're talking about in-house misconduct, like we're not.
Yeah, we're
just
talking about the games.
The games.
And
like there's studios that we're gonna put up here that are known for crunch and stuff like that. Like we're just talking about the games in this conversation.
we have Insomniac, Spyro, Ratchet, Resistance, Sunset Overdrive, Spider-Man. This is the most A-tier developer of all time.
Here's the hard part, because yes, you can put them in A tier. You want me to get this one?
Sure.
They are the A tier. Like they are
Yeah.
just always going to be the A tier studio for PlayStation. But they are shouldering this entire PS5 generation like in a way that is they haven't made a 10 yet. But it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's all great. Like
here's what I'll say about Blizzard and their games, guys. Like, even if you factor in the drop off, this steep drop off, you have Overwatch 2, which is disappointing. That's probably the biggest example of their drop off. But then you have Diablo 4, which people fucking love. Like Diablo 4 crushes right now. Like it's really good.
Crushes.
And like then you just go back into their history in World of Warcraft, StarCraft, like Hearthstone. It's really good.
They're historically an S tier studio, and they've been around long enough to garner that retaining that title.
Okay, we are moving on to Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, Paper Mario. I would like to put them in A tier personally.
You're allowed to do that.
Okay.
That's what
throw it up there?
Oh my gosh, I keep on capping this marker, and I don't have
IO
enough ability.
Interactive, IOI, makers of Hitman. I feel like that's a solid B tier situation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. IOI going in B tier. Next up, we have Irrational Games, BioShock Infinite. The only issue is it's 2 games.
Yeah.
B tier.
A tier.
Okay.
They only make A tier
people.
games. Well, Connor, name a game that they made that's not an A tier game. What is the rationale that they're a B tier studio?
I think Infinite is a 8 out of 10. Which is a B if you're going by like school grades, but
wrong side of history, everyone. Wrong side of history about BioShock Infinite. Wrong side of history.
Really hate BioShock Infinite now. Like, I do think that it's kind of like it's smelling its own farts a little bit, but that's
man, the game is so fucking good that after a long enough time, people are gonna go and try to go and poke holes in it. Connor, I'm not comparing this directly. I'm not directly comparing it to this, but it is when you're talking about someone like Tarantino and like his flicks at a certain point where it's like, oh yeah, sure, the dude's absolutely smelling his own farts with some of these movies and like but they're also some of the best fucking movies ever.
Yeah.
That is what BioShock Infinite does at a certain point. So
let's go on to Jagex. I think I'm saying that right. So that's how I've always said it since I was a kid for RuneScape. They really no.
I'm kidding. I can't joke on the podcast.
I think they're B tier.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot in B tier.
For those who didn't know, audio listeners, I point to F tier as a joke. So yeah, Kojima Productions.
Koji Pro. Oh, they only have Death Stranding.
It's just Death Stranding.
Which means, in my opinion, you have to put them in B tier.
Here's the discussion I want to have with you. Okay. I know, like
Irrational going in B.
I think that this is an important thing to discuss. Yes, it's Kojima Productions. Yes, we're gonna get to Konami in just a moment. But Kojima Productions is Metal Gear also in my mind.
No.
I know it's not. I know it's technically not.
We can't do that because
you gotta give him the credit.
No, he'll get the credit for when we talk about Konami, unfortunately. Like, that's just how we have to do this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Moving on to Team Silent. Makers of Silent Hill 1 through 4.
This feels like a B tier situation where they make like a lot of great games, but they like Silent Hill 1 is apparently great. Silent Hill 2, one of the greatest games of all time. Silent Hill 3, great.
Irrational Games belongs in B. So
yeah, we got it.
Oh, cool.
Kojima Productions, and then we're throwing Team Silent here.
Man, Connor's going for it. I would have cowered out. I don't know, Jim. Nice. There you go. Good job, buddy. Konami, Castlevania, Metal Gear, Suikoden, PES, which is Pro Evolution Soccer, Contra, F tier. No, these are some of the best games ever.
A tier.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair for them because of the fall off where they're at currently. Like, they really don't even like make games, and when they do, they hand it off to fucking Bloober Team, which ended up turning out great. And then they're having like
with Delta,
like a third party developer doing that as well. It's just like, I just think that for the most part, great history, excellent history. I don't think they have the same history as the likes of Capcom at this point.
Can we just move Blizzard down to A tier?
No.
I like, it's not about the in-house stuff. I'm just at the point that I'm like, no, they did have a fall off.
They don't. Overwatch 2 is like, if that's their biggest fall off, it's not that bad of a fall off. And then you have like, Diablo 4 right there to counteract it.
FromSoft even now are still fucking great. Like,
yeah, Blizzard's still fucking great. Currently, today, if they continue to slip, it's a different story. If they
Okay.
continue to have if everything just keeps falling apart,
Straw,
that's a
Straw
different
Hats,
story.
do it and move Atlas up. Straw Hats with me. Straw Hat speaks the truth. I'm okay with
Fine.
Atlas being the doorman.
Fine. Yeah,
Are we
do it.
doing it?
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing it. Oh man, dude, this podcast
I'm
is
getting
fun.
bullied by the
I'm
internet.
feeling good, baby. We're feeling great, baby. Oh.
No, I'm not moving Atlas up though.
I'm fine with that. They're the doorman.
Yeah.
Because I'm also in the boat that I think that Blizzard is worse than Atlas. And so if they're the doorman, if they're the ultimate keeper of the A tier, Atlas A tier, then yeah, I think that Blizzard is A tier. I think they're alongside BioWare. I think they're alongside like some of the BioWare is one of the most storied fucking like they're the same to me. BioWare and Blizzard have the same level of pedigree with certain things just not going the right way. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Konami going in A tier.
Yep.
I agree with that. Okay.
Dude, chat, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you guys influence this podcast.
Level 5, Dark Cloud, Nino Kuni, Professor Layton. Really solid studio. Really good studio.
This is another one that I'm going to leave up to you. I just don't play enough of these games or know enough on these games.
I don't think they can go up into A tier.
Drop them in B.
Yeah, B is really a catch-all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of studios make a lot of great games. If you're able to make multiple games, it means that you financially succeeded enough to probably do so.
Lionhead, the Fable series. Okay, this is gonna piss a lot of people off. Fable 2 is apparently this is speculative, but this is the logic. You guys can probably decide.
Yeah, no,
on
they
this.
should decide this in the end. By
But
the way,
this is the logic that I would throw out there. Fable 1, fine game. Fable 2, great game. Fable 3, bad game is what a lot of people say. And a lot of people will be like, well, if I like Fable 3, like I have like nostalgia for it, and they found something to enjoy in it. But like a lot of people think Fable 3 is like a huge step down from Fable 2.
Can we get a poll between B and C?
So they've 3 major games, and like one of them is great. Like that's
I think the
C,
logic
that's
is
C tier.
I
I'm
know, but
sorry.
I want to. I just want. I want a poll up because we haven't.
Yeah, B and C.
not-
B
yeah.
and C for Lionhead, please.
Thank you.
Machine Games, Wolfenstein, Modern Wolfenstein.
Another example where, like,
I think they need more. You know what I
they
mean?
need more.
Youngblood sucks.
I know, but they're also better than Bethesda Softworks.
No, they're not. Not currently. They have way
Not currently. Starfield.
no, they have way less of a history. Is what I'm saying.
I
They
know,
need more
yes.
time. They need more. They've made a bad game in Youngblood. Bethesda has like some of the greatest
We can
games
put
of
them in
all
C.
time with
We can put
Elder
them in
Scrolls
C.
and older Fallout.
You
Like,
put them in C.
yeah, for now.
That can change literally in December.
I don't think it will.
I don't either. Said it
I
can
think-
change.
I think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna make a great game with Indiana Jones, I don't think it moves them up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, next up we have Massive, The Division, Star Wars Outlaws, and Avatar, Fear and Chaser Pandora under Ubisoft.
C tier.
I think that might be D tier, honestly, at this point.
The Division's great. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but then,
the
you have,
Division,
then
the
you
B-
have Star Wars Outlaws, which sucks.
Yeah, no, that's why you split the difference between B and D, and then you toss them in C.
You think Massive's on the same level as Machine Games, and Crystal Dynamics, and Arrowhead, and 343?
D tier. You got me. That's a great argument. See, I can be malleable. We this is a conversation.
I think
okay?
they have the
Lionhead is C tier, which is where we would have
yeah.
tossed them if it was just us. With 90% of the vote. Fuck yeah, dude.
Fable fans in shambles right now.
Media.
Media Molecule, Little Big Planet, Tearaway. We don't have to talk about dreams, but we have to.
Yeah, I was about to say dreams.
Yeah, I feel like we have to throw them in C tier because of that. Because like solely, they just can't put out games. Basically, is how it's going right now. And with that history of 2 really great games, Little Big Planet, yeah, it's tough.
Ewan head. That L looks like a U, y'all.
I thought it looks like a C.
I mean, yeah, it's not right.
You can fix it if you want.
No, I like it.
So here, C tier.
Yeah, C tier. Next up, we have Mercury Steam, which is Metroid Dread, Metroid Samus Returns. Some quality titles. But it's another conversation of, is it enough? And is that enough?
I think we go B tier here.
Fine with that?
Yeah. Keep on.
Next up is MiHoYo.
Yep.
Okay, with Genshin Impact and Hawkeye Star Rail. Games that I have no real interest in. And
They just got that fucking shit cornered, dude.
Yeah, they really do.
They got that market cornered down for the gacha games. You got to give it to them. Like you got to kind of give them their props.
You want it sounds like a Blue Point situation.
Yeah, they own it. Like I feel like B tier is fine. Those games aren't bad.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, they're fun. And I think that whether or not they're predatory because they're gacha games, that's one conversation. But like, people like that shit. What are you looking for?
Just making sure that's not up on the computer.
Is there any buzzing? Make sure that there's no buzzing, guys. We just moved the cord a little bit. So
that should remove it if anything.
Okay.
So it should be fine.
Yep. MiHoYo B tier.
Yes.
You see, like we have like Media Molecule down here, and I wait for them, but I think
yeah, I think we're taking this at a respectful pace at this point.
Where are we going? Mojang. Minecraft. A tier, yeah, I can live with that. But they've made some not great games since then. With Minecraft Legends and all that shit.
Shout out to Never Forgetful for Gifted 5 on the live stream.
I'm taking my shoes off.
Whoa! Get the piggies out. I'll also take my shoes off. Let's party, dude.
Do you have socks on?
Yeah, I do.
Please, thank goodness.
Do you know what socks I got on?
What?
I got the SGF socks on.
Nice. What are we thinking? So we were talking about. I got sidetracked by the.
Mojang is A tier.
How do we feel about that?
No, Connor, you already said yes.
I never said that. I never said that. I maybe.
No. I heard it. Yeah.
Minecraft Legends and Minecraft Dungeons are not very good.
I don't give a fuck. It's Minecraft. Minecraft is probably an S tier Mount Rushmore game, and then they have 2 lesser titles. That is an A tier studio.
I want to go B tier. Have them vote. Have them decide. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, between A and B, Mojang. Let's hear it. Next up, we have Monolith Productions. Different than Monolith Soft. Monolith Productions made the Fear games, and then they are have made the modern Lord of the Rings games with Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. I think they're C tier, probably. Is that fair?
Sure. Yes. Yeah. But people really like Shadow of Mordor. That was my thought process there.
But they don't love Shadow of War as much. And Fear was a good series, not a great series.
Next up, we have Monolith
Software.
Monolith Soft, yeah.
Monolith Soft, yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenosaga, and Baten Kaitos.
Batten Kaitos.
Batten Kaitos. That's a new one for me. Haven't read that name ever.
They make really good games.
Yeah.
And they also helped with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
A tier?
A tier.
Yeah.
Connor's partying, y'all. Next up, we got Moon Studios with Ori.
B tier. They make great games.
Yeah.
But they don't have enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't have enough.
They need more.
It's really, they don't have enough. Because if they made, honestly, one more title that was the same quality of the Ori first two.
Which they have that No Rest for the Wicked game.
And apparently it's fucking awesome.
How is that not out yet? I feel like...
It's early access bullshit.
I hate early access. It's so dumb. It's very annoying.
Ugh.
Okay, where are we going next? Motion Twin, Dead Cells, Prince of Persia: The Rogue. They're kind of in that up and coming slate. I would say that we put them in C tier for now, and we'll see where they go in the future. Dead Cells is awesome, but
yes,
is that fair? Okay, you were looking at me like you were disagreeing.
I
really love the name Motion Twin. I'm not gonna.
I was legitimately thinking, being like, that's a solid fucking death
So
name.
many good developer names. I'm not gonna lie. How do they come up with this shit?
Naughty Dog.
Okay, yeah. This is S tier.
This is S tier.
Yeah,
Naughty Dog is one of those studios that, yes, they haven't fallen off for 10 years. And then you look back and all the other games they made were great.
Yeah. It's like Crash Bandicoot, excellent. Jak and Daxter, excellent. And then you have Uncharted, excellent.
I would say good to great with some of the
great.
early ones.
They're excellent in their genre. Like Crash Bandicoot didn't copy Mario, but paved its own path and brought in
I'm more
a
on the
new
Jak side.
direction for 3D.
If somebody wanted to say that Naughty Dog was an A studio just based off Jak, bringing it down, I would be like, that's fine. But no, they're an S tier studio.
Playing was B.
Naughty God.
It kind of upsets me that when we do polls and we move past it, it's out of alphabetical order. It kind of bothers me.
Oh yeah,
because we will jump or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
It is what it is.
NetherRealm.
Mortal Kombat series, Injustice, really solid. I would say B tier. I think they're like one of the no, Nick. They're one of the weaker. They're one of the weaker fighting game developers, in my opinion. They're not up there with Arc System Works. Like, not even close. Not even in the same conversation. I think B or C is more reasonable. Mortal Kombat is not that good nowadays. Like,
they haven't been bad.
They haven't been bad is different than like Street Fighter and Tekken, which are great.
Since MK9, MK10, MK11, MK12, we've just been on a great MK run. What are we talking about here? Like, they've been great for a very long time. They've developed some of the best fighting games ever. Sure, they've had some like faulty areas. Injustice 2 is a blast to play still. I'll do B. We can do B.
Okay. I don't even really agree with that, but
well, because you do C and I say A, so it goes in B. That is the conversation, though. That's how this works. Neversoft,
which is the early Tony Hawk games, right? And then you have Guitar Hero 3 onward, and then you have Underground as well for Neversoft. Really solid studio, really solid.
Yeah.
B.
B.
I feel like that's fine. Like, even with Tony Hawk being great, it's still like
Connor, we're gonna need you to get real small with this writing because man, oh man, we're stacking B up. Ninja Theory, Heavenly Sword, DMC, Hellblade.
That's a D tier studio. They're not good. They don't make good games. They make all right games.
I need to know which
Heavenly
DMCs did they make?
DMC, the remake one that people don't. I mean, like, apparently it's better than people say, like, initially thought, but they're not that good.
Oh, Goop, I'm about to tear into him. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
D.
I'm not gonna play the game.
Hellblade sucks. Hellblade is not good.
I'm not gonna play the game, but so I'm not gonna like be like S tier, like to get where they need to be. But they are a B tier studio.
No, a C tier maximum.
No, Connor, Hellblade 1 and 2 are some of the best. Let's take Hellblade 2 out of the conversation.
Hellblade 1 fine.
Is
excellent. It's like a 6 out of 10.
Excellent.
6.5 out of 10. I don't feel anything about that game.
That game blew my fucking socks off.
It's
like
just fine.
from an audio, visual, and the combat's great, and the puzzles are fun, and it's one of the scariest games I've ever played. It's super fucking immersive, and like Hellblade 1 is a better. Hellblade 1 is a better game than Silent Hill 2 remake. It is. It fucking is. I gave that game a 9.
So
the game is excellent.
So we're putting in C because you want to do it and I want it.
That's fine. But man, like, what are we doing? Like, I can't. 6 out of 10? Are you fucking
6.5.
kidding me? That game is
also been a long
so
time.
good. And once again, that's not me dunking on Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2, great game. But Hellblade 2
We're
is
just
excellent.
saying shit. Nintendo. Do we even need to say anything about this?
Oh, Nintendo?
Yeah.
What do they make? Yeah, Nintendo's S tier.
You gotta get
S
this
tier.
one.
Oh man, it is S tier. The Nintendo's unbelievable.
Yeah, like, ridiculous run they've been on. And once again, for the TikTok, if we break this out, when it comes to Nintendo, you gotta fix that.
I'm trying to go. I'm bringing it down.
No, I already started bringing it down.
No, I'm bringing it down even more. We're making a nice little
you have
loop.
to fix that. I can't do that.
But we're breaking out for the TikTok. Go from there. Go.
We're breaking it out for the so for Nintendo, we know that they are a publisher, but they have a bunch of internal game studios that is really not Nintendo. All right.
We're struggling right now. I'm trying not to laugh.
Look at this. This is the painting of a madman right here. It looks scary. It's like, what the fuck are these guys doing right now?
No, honestly, when we had the discussion of doing this podcast, I was like, yeah, we're going to do like 50 fucking studios. And
But when you start going through it, you're like,
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ, you can't just
shit.
leave a lot of these off. Like, it would be disrespectful. All right, for Nintendo, like I said, they're a publisher. We know that, but they have internal development teams, and it's really hard to find a concrete distinction for who makes what. So we just kind of have to fold them all into one thing, and because of that, S tier.
Next up, Obsidian, which is
Interesting.
a very interesting one because I think that they have some of the highest highs in gaming.
Do they have any lows?
I don't think so.
I mean, either. You have South Park: The Stick of Truth. You have Fallout New Vegas. You have Outer Worlds.
A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they're-
stoked for Avowed. I know a lot of people are weird about that one. I'm more stoked for Avowed than I am for like just about anything next year.
I'm stoked. I'm way less stoked than you. I don't think that the fantasy combat looks too up my alley, but I'm excited that you're excited. Omega Force, Connor. Omega.
Dynasty
Force.
War. They make the Warriors game. Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors. We have Fire Emblem Warriors. What are we thinking?
I just need to shout out TM Wastelander for saying Nick's passion is fantastic. Connor takes the lead, but if Nick disagrees, he goes hard. That's really true. Like
That is true. That's the
splits.
dynamic we're going for.
You've seen it multiple times on this podcast where I'm like, I don't care enough. Like I'm not gonna argue about fucking digital extremes. Okay,
Yeah.
like we're not doing that.
I think they are kind of a D tier studio. If I'm being, those Zelda and Fire Emblem Heroes games, they're fine. They're whatever. Like, but they don't really make excellent games or great games. They make good games or they make bad games, in my opinion. So is that fair?
Yeah, that's all. Sorry, I just got a fun little update where my fantasy football opponent that I was going against just texted me, "I'm not feeling nicey." That and so I
Pandemic,
I
Star
checked that
Wars
real quick.
Battlefront, Destroy All Humans, The Saboteur.
It's early Star Wars Battlefront, correct?
Yeah, really sad about the studio getting shut down. That's what EA does. They get studios and they just find good ones. No, I
C
feel
or B?
B.
Yeah, okay. I can watch B.
Yeah, B tier.
Yeah, B tier.
Pandemic.
B tier. Oh, Connor, turn me up. Connor, turn the lights on. Turn me up. Get the crowd fucking going. I hear them roaring right now. Say what we're about to say.
Playground games.
Playground fucking games.
I can live with A tier. We can't do S tier. But
Why?
put playground games next
Why
to
not?
fucking Nintendo
Why not?
and From Software.
Why not?
Because
Why not?
they make a racing
They
game.
don't miss. They don't miss.
They make a good racing
no,
game.
they make the best racing game. They are the best racing game studio. They are S tier.
A
What do
tier.
you want from me? Connor, name something bad about Playground games. So why are they not?
They make racing games. That's the bad thing.
No, that's a dumb excuse. That's one of the best. That's
Sorry.
an awesome fucking thing. I need to pull for it. I need to pull for it.
Throw it between A and S, sure, but you're not going to win that.
Like we would have been only like three or 4 votes away.
Quantic Dream,
The Dream.
Heavy Rain, Beyond, Detroit. They're no higher than B.
I was gonna say the B.
A lot of people.
You want to know what
hate
actually
their
you want
games.
to know what I'll actually say?
C.
Let's do a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Rare. Donkey Kong Country. Battletoads. Banjo Kazooie. GoldenEye 007. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Perfect Dark. Sea of Thieves. We gotta take all of it.
What's bad there?
My thing is,
What? I mean, they made some Connect games.
yeah,
for a while.
I was about to say there's a
But
few
those
that
are
are
fine
not on
Connect
there.
games.
The A tier.
I think S tier.
No, we can't. Sea of Thieves is
I
like
think
a
S
great
tier.
game. Sea of Thieves is like a B tier game. Like they have a couple B
Sea
tier.
of Thieves is a B tier game. A lot
Yeah.
of people, it's amazing. I like Sea of Thieves. Can we get a poll? S or A?
B on rare. You're not gonna win.
Fine, that's fine. I just want
Fine.
the poll. I want the poll. I just want to feel something. I want to feel alive.
Yeah, I get it. It gets you juiced up when you're talking about
Ready at
these
Dawn.
developers.
Order 1886, Daxter. F tier, yeah. Oh, they also made the PSP God of War games.
Still,
are great.
Yeah, but I still think they're F tier.
I think D tier.
Fine.
Okay.
I'm once again, I'm not arguing about Ready at Dawn. Connor,
There's not really that many.
do you got the stones to do it? Remedy. Control, Alan Wake, Max Payne.
They're A tier. They are. I mean, like, these are great games, but
You
like
got the stones to do
I don't think anything except for Alan Wake 2 from what I played is like in that
Is
in-
exceptional.
in like the
But like
conversation
Max
with all
Payne
these.
and like those
These are great games. They're all great. They
some
don't
people
miss.
that
Max Payne is not on the level of like
I know of the best of the best
best
from
of the
Street
best,
Fighter,
yeah.
Resident Evil, or The Last of Us. Alan Wake 2 is though. That game is completely up there in that.
so I think they have the opportunity to get an S.
You're right, Atlas. I look at Atlas and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Well, I can't put Remedy. Dude, they're the bouncer. They're like
really
they're
are.
the doorman. Welcome in. Just
Retro for Metroid Prime
in modern Donkey Kong Country. They don't really miss.
I think they're S tier personally. A tier for Rare.
Thank you. We're gonna toss this one to a poll. I would put them in A,
Okay. Retro versus for A or B or A or S tier.
and
please.
that is Metroid Prime and the modern Donkey Kong Country games. Some of they're like these are. This is the thing of like, are we saying that Metro, or not Metro, Retro is a better studio than Atlas?
It's close.
I know
Metroid
it's
Prime,
I know it's
Prime
close,
1, 2,
Connor. I
and
know it's
3,
close,
and
but-
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Returns.
Connor,
Like,
I know it's close.
come on,
But like
dude.
Metroid
These are
Prime,
these are
like they are amazing
really
games.
good.
They're not They're not better. They're not better than fucking Atlas. They're not better than Remedy, dude.
all right.
It's
Probably
you
gonna
got the
end up in A.
poll.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna
that-
end up in A.
you got what you
Riot
want.
Games, League of Legends, Valorant. I can live with B tier. B tier makes sense to me.
Really?
Yeah,
I would say A tier.
interesting.
I can make a case for S.
No, they
So these are two of the most dominant ever
Free-to-play
fucking
games
ever
ever, yeah.
free to play games. Like the biggest stages, the biggest fucking moment in gaming history. Like League of Legends alone, you can make a case for S tier, and then Valorant and what that's done for the comp shooting scene is like, I think A tier.
but League of Legends is so toxic and scary. I'm
It's
scared.
Car also, little preview. We wouldn't have Arcane without League of Legends, and Arcane. So I mean, they've helped on that TV show. Boom, A tier. Also, a little
Do you want to
tease.
give it to them then?
Yeah, sure. We'll give it. I want to Riot. There we go.
Riot,
it's
A
not
or
Rocksteady.
B?
Is it A or B? But also,
Sick voice crack.
dude,
there.
thanks, bro. But also a little bit of a tease. Our final casual gaming conversation bonus episode will be Arcane Season 2 in review,
Yeah.
which I'm stoked for. Are we gonna watch that together? Are we gonna sit down every week and
Maybe.
I think that'd be fun. I'll bring some popcorn and hang out.
Rockstar. Yeah.
Welcome in.
Yeah.
yeah.
The door is open from Atlas.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that checks out.
I mean, GTA, Red Dead. Though, here's the thing with GTA 6 and the complaint that a lot of people have about the development time of that game. It's going to be 7 years between Rockstar games, but like games now take 6 to 7 years, like for crazy major AAA blockbusters. So cool.
People are mad in the comments about Rockstar. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I mean, you look at
Rockstar only has 2 good games: Red Dead Redemption 1 and GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 4, Bully,
San
I like
Andreas.
Manhunt.
You like Manhunt?
I like it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's a 6.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Like, it's a fine video
Midnight
game.
Club.
Midnight Club,
If Brady
yeah.
was here, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome in, sir. Rocksteady,
Warriors.
Batman Arkham, and now the Suicide Squad. The fall from grace in like the highest degree.
B. I think that's
But
fine. I think their highs are too high to let
To, like-
Suicide Squad like totally tank
yep,
them.
I agree. Next up we have Sega. Once again, the publisher conversation. Yes, we understand they're a publisher, but between the teams that they have, we don't really have a direction to go when it comes to a direct developer.
We were able to like RGG Studios, which is like the Yakuza studio. Then we have Atlas, who's
Yeah.
under them. And then for this, so like we're talking about like Sonic,
Yeah.
and shit like that. What do I have listed here? Sonic, Shenmue is probably in there.
Yeah. Let's just go and toss it in B.
Oh, I didn't write anything.
You didn't write anything. B. Because if we're removing Atlas and we're removing Yakuza, like it's B.
Yeah, that's fine. I can live with that.
Sony Bend with Days Gone, Siphon Filter, Uncharted Golden Abyss. C tier.
C tier is fine. Yeah.
Boom.
I like Uncharted Golden Abyss quite a bit.
Same.
I like Days Gone. Days Gone's fine. I don't really have anything against it, but like it's or not anything against it. I don't like have any strong feelings towards it rather.
And then we get to another contender, Sony Santa Monica.
No, not even close to S tier. Not even close.
And we're going to poll then.
It's A tier.
It's an S tier studio.
Oh my goodness, Nick. Nick, they made one thing. They're in since 2005 or whatever, and the original God of War games are good games, and then you have God of War 3, which I think is a great game, and then you have God of War 2018, which is a excellent game, and then you have a step down from God of War 2018 to Ragnarok. They're not perfect.
You want to know why?
And I'm not saying these guys are
You
perfect,
wanna
but they're
know
not like
why
making
they're
the
S tier
upper
to me?
echelon.
It's because when I think of studios and developers, I think of the logo. I think of it seeing it on a screen. And the emotion I get from seeing that logo. And you can see, like, I went back at our metaphor reaction when we saw Atlas, like there was like that excitement.
Yeah.
But it's not Rockstar. It's not Naughty Dog. It's not FromSoft. And to some degree, seeing Capcom, when you see that Resident Evil, when you see that Street Fighter, it's there.
So we need a poll.
And so, yeah, we do need a poll. So, but like when I see Sony Santa Monica's logo at this point, it's like my body melts. Like they've earned it. They've earned that from me, in my opinion, and that's why
I'm excited for everything that they do.
Corey Barlog says game is going to be shown off next year, and it's going to be like, holy fucking shit.
If they do something other than God of War, we'll have a different conversation.
Yeah,
like I think that really is our next step. It's like the conversation with Tom Brady playing on the Patriots in his entire career. A lot of people are like, he can't be the GOAT because he's only done it for one team under one system. And then he goes and wins the Super Bowl somewhere else, and it's like, okay, like fine.
That's the other thing. Where like Pat Mahomes, he's got to win 9 rings probably to be the GOAT.
Why is that?
Because he's got to beat Brady 7, and then Brady beat him in every head-to-head matchup, and Brady won that on a different team. So like Mahomes would have to win on a different team and win an extra one.
Square Enix. This is S tier in my opinion. Squaresoft in the PS1 era is insane.
Here's my.
They had a dip, but it's about longevity.
I understand that the hard part that I'm having is they make some dog shit games.
Like what?
Like fucking Forspoken.
Forspoken's fine.
Fucking Killing Chaos. Like
that's not them. That's Team Ninja.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stranger Paradise.
Nice.
And that game's great. People like that game. Like it's like
sorry, you know what I mean?
Good.
Like there's multiple dips in quality. Some of the Kingdom Hearts games are just whatever.
If you just take the PS1 era. And then like,
I know. Like once again, I'm not.
PS2 era is solid.
I'm talking about why they're not S tier because there are some dips.
I think you'll lose if we do it. Santa Monica going in A tier, by the way.
Fine, they can go in S tier. Welcome in, sir. Mr. Keyblade, Mr. Buster Sword, welcome in.
Yeah, I forgot about Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like honestly, the greatest gaming music ever.
Yeah,
it's never Atlas.
Right.
So.
And Square Enix just has more.
This is what they called me in high school: supermassive games. All right,
Corey, Until Dawn. I think they are a better version of Quantic Dream.
But are they in C tier?
I think they're B tier.
I mean, are they in B tier?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
fine.
I feel like they're C tier. Yeah, like they're just around that Arrowhead, Crystal Dynamics. That's where they're at. And you want to know what the best part of this is? Shout out to all these developers for still making cool shit, getting creative, and having the chance to go even higher.
We're going to get our first indie dev up there. Super Giant Games. That's an S tier indie studio. Transistor, Bastion, Pyre, Hades.
They're not better than Atlas. They're not better than
It's
Atlas.
close. It's a conversation. And you have to also factor in the fact that they're an indie developer. Like
why?
Because we're just rating with less and making a ton.
No, we're just rating. Like, I understand that they're an indie developer and that they are super impressive. That makes sense to me. And once again, you look at the Game Awards 2022, our reaction, me making the fucking call when Jeff Keighley starts speaking, one of the best moments in our entire content history. I still... It's exciting, but it's not S tier. It's not. Like, they are not better than Atlas. It's like, they work in my mind like it's software. They work like Blizzard. They work like Konami. Like these, yes, A tier, excellent.
We need a poll for this. Supergiant. I think I'm going to lose, but
it's an A tier studio.
Man. Supergiant.
Also, only 3 games. Like you're talking about longevity and like that matters and all, but it's just
somebody
not there.
stitched us and said that we never mentioned Pyre whenever we mentioned their
That's true.
I was like, I feel
Bastion, Transistor, Hades. Always.
People like Pyre though. It's just not as good.
Connor, are you ready to party? Are you ready to fucking party?
Sucker Punch?
Yes.
Sucker Punch. A tier. I don't think you can give them that S.
I can't give them the S.
It's just because they don't have anything that I think, other than Ghost, that I think is like next level. Yeah. I think it's incredible how solid they are, but I don't think that they hit that.
I think about
tier.
Once again, like the trailer for Ghost of Yotei and just being like, oh, this shit. Like, I'm so excited. This is gonna be awesome. But once again, Connor, at the end of the day, they are not better than Atlas. And Atlas is the doorman of this entire...
And they're not better than Naughty Dog. They're not better than anything here.
No, they're not.
All right. Tango Gameworks, Hi-Fi Rush, The Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo. I can live with A tier, yeah. Okay, chill out. Tango going in A tier. This looks insane, but it's got a good bell curve. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks nice.
Dude, I just got down to boogie with Tango
A tier.
Gameworks. God damn.
Super Giants going in
A tier for Super Giant. Fair.
It's just so funny. We have Team Asobi. They make really good platformers.
Welcome in Team Asobi. S tier.
No, we're not doing this. It's A tier.
No. What's it? Name a game that they made that's not an S tier game, Connor. You can't do it. You can't do it. Astro Playroom was one of the greatest VR experiences ever. Astro Playroom was the greatest packing game ever. And then fucking Astrobot is a masterpiece. That is an S tier studio. They did not miss. They were all excellent. All 9+ games. That is an S tier studio.
No,
they
it's
haven't
A
missed.
tier. I
Put
think
it to a
I
poll.
think they need to prove it one more, like further.
What do you mean they need to prove it? They just
They
did.
don't have the longevity. It's similar to the Santa Monica series. They've only made one thing.
I understand, but here's the thing: Only Santa Monica has games in that series that are dips. This is perfect. They didn't miss. Team Asobi's that's here.
Fine.
Please get
Yeah. We're gonna piss some people off, but I can live with it. Yeah, I
Like-
understand what
like,
you're saying.
I look at Atlas.
They've
Atlas-
only made excellent games. They made arguably the best VR game of
Ever.
all time. They made arguably the best packing game of all time, and then I think Astrobot is
It's a
fucking excellent.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
And Alice, the reason that Alice is letting them through the door is Alice has made not excellent games. Oh, their peaks are better or on the level of Asobi, but like they're into this club because they just have not missed, and it's all fucking excellent.
Team Eco with Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and Last Guardian.
A tier.
For sure. Last Guardian, man. What a fucking game.
Oh man.
Team Eco. Boom.
Dunking on Atlas? No, I'm not dunking on Atlas at all. Atlas is fucking awesome. Atlas is the bouncer of A tier. Like, I would love to ceremoniously at the end of this, just for the hard work that they've done during this, to put them in S tier.
Yeah.
like they're just hanging out. They're doing good work. And then they get to have drinks with everyone after the night is over. Team Ninja,
We're doing it.
we're putting them up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Atlas is going to S tier. Fuck yeah,
They deserve
baby.
it. They put in the work.
They put in the work today. Persona 3, I'll show you the video. It is for a Persona 3 thing, is the bit that I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Team Ninja, Ninja Gaiden, Neo, Rise of the Ronin. There's more there, but you have Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. I think B tier's fine.
B.
Yeah,
I like
I
people
can live
fuck
with
with the Neo games. Rise of the Ronin's aight.
Yeah, I think Cooperman's gonna be upset with that one.
Why, he wants it higher?
Yeah, I think so.
Too bad.
Okay.
Team Cherry. Can they go and do
No.
it 1-for-1?
No, they can't.
So we're putting them in B?
No, A is fine.
Oh, okay.
They can't be S tier.
Yeah, no. I meant, do they get in to the A tier alone?
Yeah.
Who's the new bouncer, by the way? Because this is the correct area where Insomniac is like, that is just the A tier. But like, we have better than.
Konami, Remedy, Retro, Santa Monica.
Well, I think
Sucker
it
Punch.
actually is pretty easy. Who do we knock down? It was not BioWare.
It was
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard's the new bouncer. I don't like that. BioWare's the new bouncer.
Okay. Team Eco, and then we have not BioWare. There's better here.
What's better here?
Konami.
You sure?
Yeah.
Obsidian fucking parties. Obsidian
No.
parties.
Konami better than Obsidian. Konami better than Santa Monica.
If
You
I
gotta
had,
go history.
if I had my brother's playground is there. He's hanging out.
Who were you just talking about that is going in A tier? Team Cherry.
Team Cherry. MDHR with Cuphead.
Oh, we're at
Next-
the end.
Yeah, we're moving.
Holy shit.
Thank fucking God.
Cuphead. Another one of the situations where I think you put them in A, just for their one outing, and then following it up with the DLC.
Yep. I rock with that. Techland, we got Dead Island and Dying Light. This is the C tier studio
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
This is
Techland.
like they are C tier, and that's not a bad thing. I'm excited to play these games. It's just that's just where they are.
Telltale. Interesting history. Really good, really high highs, some very low lows.
Yeah.
I think B tier is fine.
Yeah, part of me wants to put them in A tier just for the highs that they have, but
Yeah.
it's like I can't because of the lows. So Disturbing the peace. Next up, we have that game company that made Journey, Flower, and Flow. One of the best indie studios out there.
Yeah, that's another A tier in my opinion.
Yep. They're just fucking excellent.
Indies are tough, man.
Do you have the team that made Grease and...
No.
Okay. I'm going to add them.
Okay.
I need to look them up. So you're running it. The next up is the Coalition with the Modern Gear games.
Yeah, that's a B tier for me based off of what I've heard, but I would like the audience to go for it.
Yeah.
What are we thinking for the Coalition? Because I'm not a Gears guy. Dying Light 1 is great. Really solid game. I know Dying Light 2 like wasn't considered very good, and then you have the early Dead Island games.
I'm gonna hop in as this is being voted on. Nomada Studios is the team that made Grease and now made
Nomada.
Nomada.
Do you mean Nomad?
No, I mean Nomada for Grease and
interesting.
the dog game. Never B tier, please. Yeah. I just want them on there. No, I can't make the case for A tier because I haven't played Grease, but Neva we're going to talk about later in this podcast.
Treyarch. B tier.
Yep. Yeah. Have you heard the rumors about BO2 coming like to be the next Black Ops game? A BO2 remake?
Oh my goodness, please.
Here's the thing.
You want me to do BO1 first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. Next up we have Undead Labs. State of Decay.
State of Decay. That is a C tier.
C tier?
Yeah.
Next up we have Valve. The big V.
Yeah, let him in.
Let him in.
Yeah, Valve.
Let him in.
Going in the S tier.
Let him
Left
in.
4 Dead. Half-Life. Portal. Come on.
Team Fortress 2.
What's the one that's going right now? The new one? The hero shooter?
Deadlock, dude.
Yeah,
oh, man. You want to hear a fun story? I was trying to get a Deadlock code from Mikey, and my account wouldn't work because I've never purchased anything on Steam.
Really?
I've only played free shit off there. And then, like, things we've been sent.
Coalition going in C tier. Then we have Visceral. No, sorry. Vanillaware, Odin Sphere, Dragon's Crown, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Unicorn Overlord. This is an A tier ass studio.
Yep.
They make great games.
Great game. And this is one of those I don't know a lot, but I know they make great games. And they don't miss. So, sure. Rock and roll. Then Visceral. B.
A.
Why?
Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. That's all you need.
But Dead Space 1 is like great, and then
great. Dead Space 2 is even better.
Yeah, you're
close.
one of those.
It's close, and I go back and forth.
Play 2 both.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, and then let's keep moving on. Yacht Club with Shovel Knight. B just because it's 2 little games. Next up.
Oh shoot! I just started writing Shovel Knight.
Connor. Next up, a little. Toby
Fox. A tier.
A tier. Toby Fox, unbelievable what he's doing. Deltarune, super excited for that to finally be a full release eventually.
Yep.
In
Eventually
like
is
2040.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, the A tier for Toby Fox.
Respawn. That's an A tier.
A fucking tier studio.
Jedi.
Respawn. Pardon my French here. Respawn fucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like Titanfall. Come on, that's a video game right there.
Then we have Larian.
It's A tier.
S tier. I would give them S tier. I think they deserve it. They've never look at their Metacritic scores.
It's
for their games.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I can't do it.
And they made one of the greatest
games,
like a watershed moments type of game.
I can't do
year.
it.
We can put it to that.
I like
you're
to
gonna
pull
lose.
on it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with losing. I can't do it. And a large part of it is because I don't know enough, and I understand that, but I want there to be a pull on it for that reason.
All right. After that,
I know Divinity. I know BT3. Ubisoft Montreal, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six Siege. So, no joke.
C tier.
I can't do it. I gotta do B. Some of these games are
Yeah,
when they're good. When they're good, it's oh, you have A tier games.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, going to B. Then we got a little SNK, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Metal Slug, some of the best fighting games out there.
I'll give them B.
B.
I don't really have much of a take
Yeah,
here.
same.
Yeah.
Clover,
Yeah, they
Beautiful Joe, Okami, God Hand.
really good. Really good. I think it's an A tier.
A tier?
Yeah, yeah.
RGG Studios with Yakuza is the last one we have on the board.
A tier.
Indeed.
Okay.
All right. Oh, we got to run through this for audio listeners.
Is there anything that we need to change? Well, we still need Larian.
Yeah,
They're
we need
working
to know
on
where
that.
Larian goes.
And is there anything that we need to add, change, or not change? But is there any studios we missed?
We got our one change in there soon.
Yeah.
I wonder what Connor's going to do. I think we all know what I'm going to do.
RGG is S from Straw Hat. A tier for Larian. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
For the record, they voted for that. I fought for A tier, even though I don't even like those games like that.
S-tier.
Yeah, I voted for S tier. I wanted S tier. Okay. Yeah. You want to run? I can run through it.
Let's just go. You take a tier. I'll take a tier.
You take the first one then.
Okay. S tier is Cap God, also Capcom. From Software, Naughty Dog, Nintendo, Rockstar, Square Enix, Team Asobi, Atlas, and Valve. I love it. I fucking love it.
A tier, we have Arc System Works, BioWare, Bungie, Double Fine, Epic, Hazelight, Housemarque, id Software, Insomniac, Intelligent Systems, Blizzard, Konami, Monolith Soft, Obsidian, Polyphony, Playground, Remedy, Rare, Retro, Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, Tango Gameworks, Supergiant, Team Eco, Team Cherry, MDHR, That Game Company, Vanillaware, Toby Fox, Respawn, Clover, RGG, Larian. I feel so good about that.
Yeah.
That's perfect in my mind.
Rock solid. B tier is Arcade and Leon, Bandai Namco, Bethesda Softworks, Blue Point, CD Projekt Red, Criterion, Digital Extremes, Firaxis, Game Freak, Gorilla, HAL, Grezzo, Hello Games, Harmonix, IOI, Jagex, Irrational, Koji Pro or Kojima Productions, Team Silent, Level 5, Mercury Steam, MiHoYo, Moon, Mojang,
Mojang.
NetherRealms, Neversoft, that's nice. Pandemic, Rocksteady, Sega, Team Ninja, nice. Telltale, Nomada, Treyarch, Yacht Club, Visceral, Ubisoft, SNK.
In the C tier, we have 343, 4A, Arrowhead, Crystal Dynamics, Creative Assembly, Don't Nod, Dice, Eidos, Infinity Ward, Machine Games, Lionhead, Media Molecule, Monolith Productions, Motion Twin, Ninja Theory, Quantic Dream, Bend, Supermassive, Techland, Undead Labs, and The Coalition. Just take the last two.
In D tier, we have Arcane Austin, Bloomberg, Compulsion, Evolution, Massive, Omega Force, Ready at Dawn. And in the F tier, holding it down, we have Crytek.
It's just funny because I think I might have just like skipped over stuff that would have ended up in the lower tiers, and that's how we end up with with this here.
Oh, where's Platinum?
Oh, we already did Platinum. It was during the sound issue.
It would.
I think it was B. At least I thought it was.
I'm just trying to remember the discussion.
It was, so here was the discussion. Maybe we were maybe it cut out and we just didn't.
Yeah, and then we never put it on there.
Platinum. The discussion for Platinum was that. What about Gearbox? That's a good one.
Oh yeah, Gearbox B.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Cool. Oh, and then Platinum, they make great games, but they also make some shit games.
They make like the Ninja Turtle game that was horrible. They made the Legend of Korra game, which was horrible. They made Babylon's Fall, which was horrible.
Yeah, B tier.
But they also make fucking excellent games. They make Nier, right. And they make.
To close it out, Connor, we get our one change. Where are you tossing your change? Where are you moving? Where are you heading? What are you buying? What are you selling?
Let me take a look.
I think both of us are looking to push things into the S tier.
Maybe. Yeah, interesting here. Interesting.
I can make my move first if you want.
Ooh, this is tough, actually. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, do I want to party? That's the question. I don't want to party. I want to just do what's right. What do you think I'm going to do?
I have no idea. Tango?
Not move Tango into S tier, no. I was between Playground and Remedy, and then this studio that I'm moving into S tier.
What was it? Santa Monica.
Yeah, Sony Santa Monica. They're S tier in my mind. I know this is like the most unscientific thing ever, but like seeing that logo pop up at the end of 2020 and like crying my eyes out due to hype, I'm like, there's so few studios that garnered that response from me, and they deserve that response.
I don't really have a take here. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. We fucking crushed this. Like, this is a really, really good list across the board.
I'll put id in S tier.
Love it. Love that. Where's it on the board? Love that.
Id Software.
Yeah. For me, Playground, like I understand the case that it's A tier. Remedy, I understand the case that it's A tier. So that's why I went with what I went. Is there anything else before we want to close out this segment?
Ubisoft divisions on the board. Yeah, we had Massive and we had Ubisoft Montreal.
All right.
Which are in D and B respectively.
This has been your not casual gaming conversation. We'll be back in just a moment, but this has been your tier list for developers.
All right, hopping into our hot takes. Nick, what do we got?
My hot take for today is about music and games, but not what you're like thinking like, oh, Atlas and oh, Naughty Dog, whatever. I'm talking about the way that games let you play music at certain times. I'm talking about piano mini games. I'm talking about guitar mini games. I'm talking about obviously just like also Guitar Hero and Rock Band and everything. That shit's fucking awesome, and we need to do more of it. For me, as somebody that loves to play guitar and everything, seeing that in The Last of Us Part 2 as an option, I played Last of Us guitar very poorly for hours on end. Just inviting that creativity and that curiosity to the player is fucking dope. So can we get more of that, please? Like, I feel like people are like, oh, it's the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's not that hard to go and just like throw in basically just a few notes and have it tuned up properly and just let you press a button to go and click a C note. And it's fun. It's great. I really enjoyed it on for Rebirth 2 with the piano minigame. Some of my favorite minigames in all of gaming are these music games. I want more of it. Please give me more of it.
I don't really have a take here in the contrary. I don't really dislike them, but I do enjoy the piano minigame in Rebirth. I didn't really mess around with the guitar like at all in The Last of Us Part 2. I think the ocarina is a really cool feature in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but yeah, it's fine. I like the aspects. I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. I think a lot of people like it.
I think that I'm saying that people need to do more of it because the discussion of is the juice worth the squeeze for like these mini games to be something else, something different. I'm like, no, this is what I want. Please give me this.
Right. My gaming hot take for this week is that the Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, Norman Reedus production of Silent Hills getting canceled is the most tragic game cancellation of all time. What we were robbed of. PT is one of the greatest horror experiences ever. It does so much with so little and is so impactful and so good. And the idea that we were going to get that kind of experience stretched out through an entire game for a series that had really fallen by the wayside for Konami, and it was going to be spearheaded by one of the greatest game developers of all time and one of the greatest movie storytellers of all time in Guillermo del Toro, headed up by a really solid actor in Norman Reedus. I really love him in his roles, generally speaking. Like, this was going to be maybe the greatest horror game of all time, and we were robbed of it. It is tragic. It is so sad, and we need to talk about it more. Jeez Louise, I wanted that fucking game. And now we just have to hope that OD is something even in that ballpark, which I doubt it because it's using like cloud technology or something. It's going to basically be a movie is my prediction at this point. But like, I really am just crossing my fingers that is wrong. It's so sad that we don't have Silent Hills in our life.
This might be your best take ever. Like the fact that exists out there is really upsetting. Salazar in our chat makes a great point. More so than The Last of Us Factions 2?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Just
100%. Sure. Not even, honestly, not even close.
Okay.
Like Silent Hills, like I That would have been my most anticipated game leading up to it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about PT for years after it. I deleted it from my system because I didn't even like looking at the icon to boot it up.
Okay, but do you still have it like on your store base?
Doesn't
like,
matter. You can't do it. You can't download it. You have to have it downloaded to your system. I did have it in my store base, and now they don't.
We need to find a way to play PT on stream eventually.
What's the like the max you would pay? I think I'd pay a lot at this point.
I was about to say there's two folds for it. There's the amount that I would pay straight up for it, which is probably $250, $300 for an hour and a half game, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I think I'm around there. But then the fact that we would get to stream it and like make content out of it,
that changes things.
500,
that changes
$1,000.
Yeah.
Like it's a conversation.
I'd be interested in that to do that at some point, be able to experience it with the community because I just experience it again.
That's one of those that you'd pull out for like the 5-year anniversary for Co-op 64.
Right. Oh man, I want to play that so badly. Alrighty, hopping into our Sparking Zero impressions. Do you want me to intro this or do you want to intro it?
I can intro it and kick it to you first. Connor, you and I both have been playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. What are your thoughts on the game and what are your general impressions?
Yeah, so we didn't play enough of it, I would say, to give a full-on score, a full-on review, in my opinion. But this game, for Dragon Ball fans, as somebody who has watched Dragon Ball OG and Dragon Ball Z, has not watched Super, this is like the dream game for the people who go crazy for this series and really love it. I've had friends throughout my life who've been super into this series, who are super excited about the return of the Dragon Ball Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi series. And for Sparking Zero, as somebody who isn't a fighting game guy, I'm enjoying the arcadey aspect of it. I think it's really fun to just pick up. There's a lot of systems that are kind of difficult to learn and really kind of get a foothold on. And I think that's just an issue with fighting games rather than just with Sparking Zero. But I played through all of Goku's story. I've been playing online quite a bit and enjoying that experience. And playing with you was super fun and having that back and forth. Like we had a really close match the first one. It was super enjoyable. So yeah, like those hype moments that you get from Dragon Ball when you're sending the Spirit Bomb down on your enemy or sending him flying and then teleporting behind him and then hitting him again and then slamming him to the ground. It looks amazing. Even though the menus aren't like functionally the best menus, like the presentation behind everything and like having all the characters there, it just looks so freaking cool. I love the way this game looks. I just think that the onboarding isn't the best. The tutorial in this game is terrible.
Yeah.
And then you have to go into like the battle training. And even then, I finished that, and then I went to do the story, and I was like, I don't really fully understand certain aspects of it. So then I did it again, and then went in and understood a little bit more. And by the end of Goku's story, which like was relatively long, like 4-ish hours, like I was like, okay, I finally feel a little bit comfortable. And then I go online, and I'm getting my teeth absolutely kicked in. But like when it comes to just like being a Dragon Ball game for Dragon Ball fans, it succeeds in spades in that area. But as somebody who isn't a huge Dragon Ball fan and isn't a huge fighting game fan, I find it relatively daunting but still fun. I compare this to, it's really great video game junk food. Is this telling like the greatest story of all time? No. If you're playing through the story missions, it's very hard to follow if you haven't already watched the anime. So that's not getting it there. Is it the most technical, over the top fighting game ever? No. But like it's super fun still. Like so it's just like whatever. Like it succeeds at what it's setting out to do, and I think that's really impressive. So yeah, I would like to play more of it. Maybe we'll give a score down the line, but for now, I enjoy it. I think it's a good game. But is it made for me? No. But I can see all of that from the perspective of a Dragon Ball fan because I grew up around these people and like all the way through college, and I know talking to them that it's like ridiculous. So like
I love your impressions on this, and the reason I wanted to kick it to you first was you have history with Dragon Ball. I don't have basically any history with this long franchise because other than the times that I would sit on the couch next to my roommate who's just watching it while he's in his underwear demolishing cereal. Like I didn't like have like a long linchpin of this series. But for me, I do enjoy this game as a fighting game. I'm a huge fighting game fan, and I was like, I want to play the latest and greatest when it comes to fighting games. And for a 3D fighter with just like this crazy destructible environment, hype fucking moment, dropping Spirit Bombs, I don't know what the fuck's happening in the story, but I'm having a great time with the gameplay. I'm having a great time with what I'm actually on the 6 doing. There are certain techniques that I've used that I'm like okay, this feels a little bit dumb, a little bit cheap in the story mode where I'm just charging things up constantly. When I was playing Connor, I'm just trying to get as high up on the y-axis as possible to just like make it uncomfortable where you can't really see or figure out where I am and cheese it that way. And you can do that, but you really can't do that in online because people are better than you and people know how to get away from that and just demolish you. But there's a lot of fun to be had here. I think that it's a great fighting game. And like Connor said, if everyone that I've talked to that's a Dragon Ball fan has loved it. And it's awesome. And the different pathways that you can go down with the story. I don't care about the different pathways because I don't know what the fuck's going on in the first place. But if you care about it, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking dope. So having those conversations, hopping on the sticks, playing through all of Goku's story, playing some online, I'm like, yeah, this game is great. It excels at being an awesome Dragon Ball fighter. I love the line of video game junk food. This shit is like the best of the best. Though I almost see it in a very different way. I'm like, this feels like I'm playing like the best Tony Hawk game ever.
Yeah,
like,
Tony Hawk's a similar thing. It's not supposed to be disparaging. It's like there's like video games that are like, this game is art or whatever, and it's like, this is not art. This is just fucking hype as fuck or whatever, and like in fun. It's dumb fun, and I enjoy it. So yeah, I think it's rock solid.
Yeah, we're not going to do like a long form review on it or anything. Is the plan. But we are going to talk a little bit about this nice little game by Nomada Studios called Neva, Connor. I do have some notes on it, and
tee up.
I want you to tee me up, bro.
Nick, you have completed Neva. What is your review? What are we thinking?
This game is excellent, 100% excellent. This game is a 9 out of 10 on our scale, and I adore everything that this game does in its 4 hours length. When it comes to the art style, if you played Grease, you know this studio doesn't miss when it comes to art style. Every single moment I was on the Switch, I was playing it on Switch because I want to give it to Brady, but I would have, if I was on the PlayStation, taken photo mode after photo mode after photo mode. I got to the point that I was taking my phone out, Connor, and taking photos of my TV because it's so freaking gorgeous. And you paired that with a soundtrack that excels at the hype moments where it's supposed to swell during these bombastic, crazy times, but then also just be so quiet and peaceful and give you the feeling of like safeness at the perfect time there. Like, the music pairs perfectly with what you're seeing visually and what is happening emotionally on screen in the combat sequences too. The bond between the main character and Neva in this game is some of the best shit in gaming this year. The moment that you get to pet the dog, you're like, oh, I've been here before. I've done this show and dance before with a cute companion. But then the moment that Neva gets taken away from you for a brief moment and you hear that dog wolf thing yelp, you melt and you're just like, I'm going to fuck up whoever is hurting my best friend. And then you go and do it and you're like, you're safe now. And then there's a really terrific mechanic. This isn't a spoiler, but instead of petting the dog after the moment of them being attacked or something like that, and they get like pushed off their kilter, when you go and pet them, you hug the dog. You wrap around them and fully hug them. It is just exactly what you want from an emotional connection to a game. And they build that through gameplay so well. The mechanics in this game are decently well thought out, where like it's not the most mind-blowing gameplay ever, but they give you a dodge, they give you a dash, they give you a double jump, and those things are just like perfect for the gameplay of action. Hey, I'm mashing square to go and just rack up combos. They also do a really cool thing where it almost reminded me a little bit of Bloodborne's combat, where if you get in enough hits in a row, it'll add more life to you. So it gives you a little bit more of a reason to go and attack a lot. As you progress, the combat also progresses. As Neva grows up, they become a little bit more intrinsic to the combat experience, and it's awesome. The platforming in this game, super fun. I had a few like moments where I was like, I think I'm doing the right thing, and the game's not letting me do the right thing, and I was a little bit frustrated, but never frustrated enough to take me away from enjoying the scenery. Like, there was a moment where I got really upset. I went to go grab water. I sat back down. I looked at the screen, and I was like, well, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. So am I actually upset right now? No, not at all. And then the puzzle solving is basic enough to just get you to the next beat, and the next beat isn't always going to be this crazy story beat, but it's going to be this visual feast where you're like, holy shit, they're pulling this out now. There's an awesome moment about halfway through this where I just was like, yeah, I thought that this type of scenery, this type of setting would be much later in the game if they were to do something like it, and the fact that you're giving me this early is awesome. At the end of the day, Neva is a beautiful, beautiful game. It is a story about nature, beauty, love, companionship, growing up, and excels at all of those themes. This is a phenomenal game. It is a 9 out of 10 on our scale. 4 hours of just some of the most amazing shit I've ever played. Neva, amazing game. Easily a contender. This year, when we talk about the best of the best on the indie side of thing, Animal Well, Balatro, Neva.
Right on. Yeah, the biggest selling point for this for me is 4 hours. That's
we talked about it on the team where like Brady's like 4 hours. I'm in.
Yeah, that's like nothing. That's like 2 sessions. And it's like,
for me, it was 2 sessions. It also there's natural breaks in this game, like where it's very natural. You will know if you start at the game and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have a break here, there, wherever. It's paced really fucking well. Like it's done so well, and I love this game. Like when I was doing my top 10 list and we were discussing Silent Hill 2 and everything, and Connor being like, man, like Silent Hill 2 just keeps getting lower on this list.
It's already off now.
And then Neva comes out and I'm like, it's lower now. It's at number 10 now. It went from 9 to 10 because Neva is in my top 5. Like this is a game that when we're doing our game of the year conversation, before we get there and we're playing cleanup, like, and hey, what are you playing for like the last couple of weeks before we do the GOTY conversation? I'm going to be screaming at you guys to play this game just to get it done with, just so we can potentially have it on our list even higher, because I'm like, this for me is a top 5 release this year.
Weird year for indie games. I feel like you usually have more high tier bangers, and this year it's Animal Well, which I think is great. I think is excellent. And then you have Balatro, which I think is an all-timer, and then that's really it. And then now you have Neva.
Yeah,
from what you were saying.
Well, people fuck with the Plucky Squire. That has like an 82 on Metacritic. Like that's
not a like top tier.
Oh yeah. I feel like it's.
I don't think in 5 years people are going to be talking about the Plucky Squire in the way that people talk about Undertale or Celeste.
True.
Or anything like that.
What was the Game of the Year noms for indies last year? I'm just trying to wrap my head around the indie side of things.
It was like Dave the Diver.
Oh yeah,
Dredge. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but those are 2 of them. Okay, with the camera having issues, let's get right into
this draft.
All right, ready?
Yeah. For all of these though, if the camera does crap out, we will need to repeat ourselves. Sorry, because this is all visual. Just a heads up.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Today we are drafting Kingdom Hearts Keyblades. I have the first pick, and I'm going to go with the GOAT. We're going to go with the Oathkeeper. A lot of sentimental value when it comes to Sora and Kairi's relationship. This is basically her like Keyblade that she gives to him in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it keeps coming up over and over again throughout the series. So yeah, Oathkeeper with my first pick.
Real quick, Neva, I don't believe is on Game Pass, but it's on everything. $20, great game. With my first pick, I'm going to choose Oblivion. I feel like this is the 1-2 option. Yeah. Oathkeeper was my 1-1. I will give you the credit that you deserve. But yeah, I mean, Oblivion fucking slaps.
Just badass.
And then with my second pick, I'm going to choose the Decisive Pumpkin. This is one of my favorites from the Nightmare Before Christmas world. So yeah, that's my 1-2 punch to kick it off. I have some deeper cuts that I'm more excited about than that, but that's where I'm going to go with my 1-2.
With my second pick, I'm going to pick Way to the Dawn. Riku's badass Keyblade, a spin on his sword from the first game, and then when he gets his Keyblade in the second one, just so cool. You throw a wing on it, and it just becomes even more fucking badass. With my third pick, I'm going to go with Void Gear, Vanitas' Keyblade. Just so cool. Birth by Sleep has so many great Keyblades to choose from. I think that's the best, though, of all of them.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. With my next pick, I'm choosing Bond of Flame. That Keyblade looks so fucking cool. And like right now we're talking about like, yeah, there's thematics and like characters' relation with their blade. No, this is just the coolest fucking shit ever. Yeah. So Bond of Flame with my next choice. And then after that, I'm gonna choose the Circle of Life. I think that this is a super cool Keyblade from the Lion King world.
Wow.
I love it.
That's like not even in my top 50.
It's my number 4.
That is wild. So I go basic here. Are you going to pick the Kingdom Key?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to. It's one of those things where I'm like, it's either the third choice behind Oathkeeper and Oblivion, or it's not on the board.
Right.
Like, are we gonna give the respect to this just being a fucking awesome sword or not?
It's my fourth pick. This is flying by.
Yeah.
With my fourth pick, I'm going to pick. Oh, sorry, I'm going to redo that. With my fourth pick, I'm going to pick Ends of the Earth, Terra's Keyblade, his final Keyblade from Birth by Sleep. That shot of him at the end of that game with that Keyblade is so cool, so badass. You can choose between Ven, Terra, or Aqua's Keyblades. I think that he wins though with the coolest Keyblade. But Ven like using backhand with the Keyblade is so fucking cool. I love it. With my final pick, I'm gonna go with the Ultimate Keyblade from Ultima. Or sorry, is it Ultimate Weapon or just Ultimate Keyblade?
I think it's Ultimate Weapon.
Yeah. Okay. With my final pick, I'm going to pick the Ultimate Weapon from Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it is the best. It has the best like color coding for that Keyblade. I think 3's is close second there. 1's is the weakest, but it's really just up to preference. I think 2's is gorgeous.
With my last pick, I'm going to choose Crystal Snow, the Frozen Keyblade. That Keyblade looks so fucking cool, dude.
That is the worst pick you could have possibly made.
Oh my god, it looks so dope.
What are you doing?
It looks so dope. I love that Keyblade.
What are you doing?
Like, if we could get like Keyblades for the studio, I might want that one as mine.
That is insanity.
Yeah, I love
Nick.
it.
You have Wayward Wind, Ven's Keyblade. You have the Kingdom Key. You have Monochrome. You have Guardian Soul, Orin's Keyblade. Are you fucking
I have Crystal
kidding
Snow,
me?
Wheel of Fate,
Wheel of Fate I had up there.
Starlight, Favorite Deputy. I like the one from Toy Story.
The Kingdom Hearts 3 Keyblades suck.
Kingdom Key, One Winged Angel Keyblade is just cool.
Yeah.
Because the way you get it. Lady Luck, I do like the heart of being
I don't like
like,
that
oh,
one.
I think it's cool. And then Pumpkinhead for another one from.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead's great. I really like Fenrir, the Chocobo one from Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 has so many great Keyblades.
I freaking love Chocobos.
How do you pick the Frozen Keyblade when we just listed so many of those off?
Because
the
that
Keyblade
one's better.
Sucks.
So fucking cool,
That
dude.
is wild.
So cool. All right, everyone. This has been your casual gaming conversation for this week. We will see you in the next one. Peace out.